Cinephiles. Take them out. Certified Cinephiles. Take them out. Certified Cinephiles. Take them out.
Welcome to Certified Cinephiles, everyone. It's me, Scooby-Doo from Velma, aka Patrick. And with me, as always, is my my best friend and
You know what it
number
is.
one partner. Did you unmute yourself?
Yeah. I'm checking in the
Okay,
green here.
It's Will. It's Will. What's up, Will?
You know what it is. We're here to talk about the best movie of all time today, Miami Connection, beloved by so many, hated by the Hollywood elitist deep state and the government.
The damned government at it again. This is your favorite movie of all time, Will?
It is. I mean, hands down, there is nothing that can possibly
That's-
compare. This is my favorite movie of all time. Where does it rank for you, Pat? Because I
I-
know this one you are a fan.
I know, but I'm all over the place. You know, I am a dust in the wind. I can't pin down a favorite movie. This is in my top 50.
You're a true aristocrat. I mean, you're a man that loves watching live sex on the beautiful red light streets
dark
of
web.
Amsterdam. Yeah, and you've
Mhm.
hosted
and
some.
on my Tor browser. I like to get my Tor browser fired up. I like to hit the dark web. Watch
Yeah.
some live sex acts on the dark net. Nothing underage. Don't get me wrong. It's
No,
just
it's all
lot of
it's all
this-
ethical stuff. I mean, for all of our listeners out there, Patrick has he has impeccable taste, and he's really turned me on to so many things. As much as me and my fellow halfway housemen are going through
Houseman.
a dark night of the soul, and we're transforming ourselves for the better through a lot of sexual kung fu. Patrick is very well versed.
and quantum physics. You're doing quantum physics.
We are trying to
too.
break the quantum realm. Yeah. And I mean,
I've been reading up on the slip experiment. I've been trying to wrap my brain around all four corners of the quantum realm, and I just can't get there. I don't understand it. It's just above me right now, and I'm
it's
a mega
crazy that
mind.
you say it that way because frankly, we are both established mega minds at this point, and at this point it's not a matter of wrapping our heads around it. It's like trying to think of a new color. To all the listeners out there, try to think of a color that does not exist. Come up with a new color in your head that it does not exist.
Me and Will
so
can
far.
do it. You can't, but me and Will can do it.
I
There's no way
Yeah.
you could.
You can't.
I could
but
try to describe the color to you guys. It's kind of like the feeling of sleeping in on the day of graduation. You kind of first feel guilty, but then you're like, I'm graduated. I don't care if I'm late to my graduation. It's kind of like that freedom, realizing you're free. The color looks like the feeling of realizing you're free.
Yeah, it's really
But you can't-
interesting
you-
that you're even explaining this to our listeners because sadly, listeners,
It's
you're
not.
just not gonna
It
get
falls short. Words fall short.
You're just frankly not gonna get it, and that's
But
okay.
a first good step, like we've been chatting about on the pod, is listening to a bunch of audiobooks at once. This will open your mind up to experiencing things on more of a quantum level.
Highly
um,
recommend.
Will put me onto this, and I finally think I'm starting to grasp it.
Yeah,
I did listen to all of Dave Pilkey's books in a weekend. That's all the Captain Underpantses and other stuff.
yeah, and I mean, what a series! I mean, talk about take your breath away. I think with every single Captain Underpants book, you really need just an entire day. Once you finish it and you put it down, you just really need like an entire day of just like staring at a wall to like fully grasp your own existence.
Would it make sense that it grounded me? Coming
it
back
can
to
do
those
that.
books,
It can do that.
I hadn't read those books since the Scholastics book fair days, and I mean, I didn't get them back then.
Yeah, no, that's the beauty of it. He's a writer. These books were never meant for children. However, children seem to love they love the drawings and stuff like that, and they think it's a funny concept. But the reality is that it's
Look, his
commentary
butt's out,
on
his wiener's out.
yeah, it's commentary from a higher species. It really is. It's commentary coming down, looking at Earth from millions of years into the future, saying where did humanity? It's as if archaeologists from centuries into the future look back at the ruins of today with a microscope, saying where did we go wrong? What all did we? You're really drinking that water there. God, you're thirsty.
Sorry,
huh?
it's not water. It's not water.
Alpha Brain? Is it the new Alpha Brain stack?
It's black cherry Kool-Aid.
Oh, great choice. I, for one, am drinking
Extra sugar.
Le Croix. I'm drinking Le Croix's mojito flavor. Just like you could.
Not enough sugar in that.
It's just naturally essenced. That's what I love. They took a mojito and they breathed over it and put it into a can. Food scientists do this all the time, where just like, to our listeners out there, just like you can't come up with a color, but Patrick and I can, food scientists can come up with absolutely bonkers, amazing drinks that are essenced, like a La Croix mojito. It blows my freaking mind. Speaking of mojito, the movie we're talking about today is from the warm, breezy coasts of the Sunshine State, Miami Connection.
Go CFU, Central Florida U! This movie is so good. Welcome
We have
to
so much to talk about. We have so much to talk about this movie. This movie is
In our asses, we're talking about fucking Captain Underpants. Sorry for cussing. Captain Underpants. We got to get into the movie. We do this all the time. The year is 1987. We're in Central Florida. We're in Miami. Motorcycle ninjas tight grip on Florida's narcotic trade viciously annihilates anyone who dares to move in on their turf. Multinational martial arts rock band Dragon Sound have had enough, and they embark on a roundhouse wreck wave of crime-crushing justice. When not chasing beach bunnies or performing their hit song Against the Ninja, Taekwondo master, inspirational speaker YK Kim, and the boys are kicking and chopping at the drug world's smelliest underbelly. It'll take every ounce of their blood and courage, but Dragon Sound can't stop until they've completely destroyed the dealers, the drunk bikers, the kill-crazy ninjas, the middle-aged thugs, and the stupid cocaine. And the entire Miami Connection. This movie rocks. It's like if Romeo and Juliet took place in 1987 Miami, but the Capulets were a Taekwondo rock band and the Montagues were inbred redneck biker gang.
Yeah, and improver alert, Romeo and Juliet survive.
Yeah, it truly is an improvement on Shakespeare, because
you might be watching
this
this shaking in your boots thinking, is Romeo and Juliet going to die in this? And they don't. And thank God.
When I found out how Romeo and Juliet ends, I punched a wall. It was all just a big misunderstanding. How
Effective
does that
communication
happen?
is so important in this world. But
See, that wouldn't happen if they had cell phones.
YK Kim, a man who owned several Taekwondo dojos in Orlando, Florida.
He's ugly. He is so ugly.
You think so? I think
he looks like a catcher's
handsome.
mitt. Nah, he looks like a catcher. He's cool as hell, but his face looks like a catcher's mitt.
If fighting,
what's chat saying? Is anyone in chat?
If fighting is your, oh yeah, We got Adam. We got Adam Short in the house. I'm here for the synesthesia, bros. That's what's up. Oh yeah, people
What's
are popping
up?
off. And
Any
what?
celebrities in there?
Oh my God! It's Adam Driver along with Adam Short. That's crazy.
Oh, Adams and Adam 22.
Wow, I loved you in Marriage Story. I loved you in Marriage Story.
I love you in Girls.
I've never
and in
watched
Star
Girls.
Wars.
Never watched Girls. That show's way too intimidating to watch because I connect so deeply with the characters from the trailer of the pilot.
Yeah.
I connected so deeply. I could not watch
You
the
said,
show.
I remember when you watched the pilot of Girls, you called me and you were like, I feel so deeply.
It's exactly.
For
I
this
mean, it's the
fat,
whole reason
frumpy
why.
girl.
Yeah, it's the whole reason why I can't watch Jim Carrey's The Mask either. I just relate way too hard to that. I just relate everything about it. It's
You said somebody stop me.
like, I mean, I get chills just thinking about if I were living my life right now and I found a mask in a river, I'd put that shit on. I know I would, and
We need to change the
I'd
subject.
go back to the old me.
We need to change the subject. I'm starting to think about Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
Whoa, are you?
Change the subject.
Okay, we'll do, but
need
quick,
to take a cold
quick check in.
shower.
Yeah, quick check in. So, Pat,
Boing.
have you gone back to the edging protocols, or where are you at with your salute to bust?
I like to ejac, and it's hard for me to hold off.
Oh, of course.
How many? Can I ask you an intimate question?
Of course.
How many times a week do you ejaculate
16, easy.
on average?
Oh, yeah, 16 this week so far.
So over twice a week you're ejaculating.
Way over twice a week, yeah. I mean, there's not a day. I mean, currently I'm weaning off of my anxiety meds, and I'm down to a very small amount. And yeah, I definitely.
Is that making your loads bigger?
It's hard to tell because I'm just going at it so often. For all those out there,
Yeah, you're drying out.
I do take a very large stack of zinc and vitamin E, along with proper hydration. This will increase your load size. You will be very proud of the ropes you're firing off, and you'll honestly be pretty amazed. At the same time, with all of the vitamin E and the zinc that I'm taking, along with the niacin from Alpha Brain, I'm busting. I'm treating my anxiety with masturbation, frankly. So, Adam in the chat, let us know how often you bust, and that goes to both Adam Short and Adam Driver. How often they're ejacking in the week. So, and we'll report it. We'll report it to our listeners here. You're drinking a lot of that Kool-Aid, and I'll have a sip of this La Croix Mojito. This movie is incredible, and I just want to talk about how it is so obvious why this movie was hated on and buried upon inception, or upon birth, I guess. This movie deals with, what are they called?
Bad
on.
guys.
My brain. This is all because
See,
of it.
that's one of the problems of becoming a megamind. You're thinking of so many things at once, it sometimes can be hard to pin down one.
Oh, vigilante.
Which is...
Whoa.
Oh, there
Whoa,
it is.
I swear I just astral projected into like
You
16
found the word,
lifetimes.
yep.
Oh my
I've
God.
done that before. You have to astral project to find the word you're looking for.
Yeah, to our listeners out there,
time moves differently.
Time does move different, and I just want to say that once you do become a megamind, you are on the verge of leaving your body for another existence, and you have to dial it in. If you are not careful, you will lose your mind, and you will lose your sense of self.
Will's been training me to astral project. I'm not quite to where he is. It would be nice to, at night, be able to astral project and, like, meet and just chat, because right now we do only have the 1 hour of internet a week together.
Yeah.
So if we could spend time talking about the podcast in the astral plane, and maybe like do other stuff too, like just hang out, play tag.
And
But it is
pickleball.
dangerous, and
If
pickleball.
we were gonna play pickleball and astral, that's what a lot of my astral projection is, straight to the pickleball courts. And let me tell you, it's getting heated over there. It's getting heated over there.
Yeah. And everyone's on a level playing field because you're not bound to your physical form, right? So
Exactly.
it's
People
beautiful,
say
and I want to
pickleball's a
get there.
social sport. I'm in it for the game. I'm not there to chat, frankly. You know, I'm working on myself, and I do have a competitive nature. It is what may or may not have put me into prison in the first place, is my competitive nature. So I am astral projecting to play pickleball. So back to Miami Connection. This movie focuses on rock and roll. Not only that, but rock and roll vigilante justice. Talk about the Reagan's war on drugs era of the majority of the 1980s. You know, you had a lot of taxpayer money going towards the war on drugs. This was our military intervention with other countries trying to stop the sale and the distribution of narcotics into the United States. Well, of course.
How did that work?
Well, it worked
Hint,
terribly.
I'm high as a kite right now.
Worked terribly, but of course, the government sees a movie that is a perfect depiction of how we don't need intervention. We don't need this military New World Order intervention throughout all of these different countries. We just need our own citizens to rise up and face these gangsters, aka
With rock and roll,
the
loyalty,
CIA,
respect, friendship.
and
The CIA is the biggest gangsters.
the CIA is the biggest gangsters. Just look at crack implementation into the streets to try to keep a certain socioeconomic class.
Look at the Cold War.
Even
Look
worse.
at the JFK assassination. Look at the MLK assassination.
I mean, yeah, the writing's on the wall, folks. And frankly, if you're listening to this pod, you're in the right place, because then you know exactly what's up. And so they saw this
You're
movie.
basically on the ground floor with us. This is the 3rd season, but we're still on the ground floor. You know all the financial hardships we've gone through. We've gone through several lawyers.
Dozens
and,
of lawyers.
Lawsuits.
So many lawsuits. Prison
this
time
is
for me.
Why do you think the format has been different every season? It's because we're barely getting by.
Patrick's being
So-
well, he just found out last week that Patrick's being molested by Bob Iger of Disney.
Well, don't
so
use that word.
he's being Mickey Moused. And that's where he makes
It's an
Patrick
M-word.
dress up in a Mickey
He
Mouse costume.
will just
with his
text me
pepper out.
he calls it wet mouse. He'll just text me the water squirt emoji and a mouse emoji.
But
it
it's
means
not all
what?
bad, because he did get a voice Scooby-Doo for the new Velma series, and it's woke and
I
amazing.
don't think it's
and-
getting picked up again though.
Which is a shame, because it's woke and it's amazing, and Velma's so hot in it. Per usual, frankly. Per usual.
But it's not too woke, you know. It's like the perfect amount of woke.
Yeah.
Because we are centrists.
We are centrists. We're with her. And
I'm
we
with
have
her,
no
yet
shame
she
about
persisted.
that.
Yet Velma persisted.
We are with her. And it's important that people don't think that we're into socialism and all that, because frankly, we want our Democrats to win, frankly, to lead us to salvation, because we do still like some of
We-
the capitalistic stuff, like
we want-
Journeys and
We want to
Spencer's Gifts.
see. We love malls. We want to see Israelis and Palestinians kiss. We want everyone to get along.
We want them to get along. It's not so bad. Come on.
Just be a little more Christian. Anyways, Miami Connection. This
A movie shot
I'm
completely
kind
in
of pissed
Orlando.
at you, Will. I'm kind of pissed at you, Will.
Wait,
If
why?
this is your favorite movie,
Bruh.
why didn't you tell me about it before, bruh?
Okay. Well, frankly, this movie's absolutely terrifying to put on For all of our listeners out there that don't know, Patrick and I have not only been gang stalked, we've been assaulted,
gang-stalked more
we've
than
been
Will.
domestically terrorized with anthraxed. They made Patrick shave off his beard. And
Maybe it's something about my peripheral vision not being that good, but I'm getting gang stalked more than Will. My food is still getting bites taken out of it. My French fries are being nibbled, and I think it's because your peripheral vision's better than mine. They don't dare get that close to you.
I also
But I have
I'm also
tunnel vision.
not allowed to leave the house without permission. I'm very carefully watched already, just being in my current halfway home situation.
True.
And so there's not a lot of room for the gang stalking. But
But you say you can see them like at the bus stop, watching the house.
doing
They're
a
in
couple things,
trees,
wearing their V
pretending
for
to-
Vendetta masks. I do have a lot of people wearing their V for Vendetta masks, and it's very possible that they're from the Church of Scientology, harassing me for trying to get into the
I told you.
church, trying to go to the social. I try to do the social thing, and they just like didn't let me join. And then now they're mad at me for not joining, I guess.
I've been on the record for years telling Will to avoid those people. And
Just saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's all tied together.
You know, when you move to Los Angeles, you have to take risks because, as we found out with P. Diddy, with Sean Puffy Combs, as we found out with Kevin Costner. Wait, not Kevin Costner. Sean Spacey. What's his name?
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey. The Weinsteins. You know, you have to pay your dues in some ways, as we found out with Patrick. Frankly.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at now. I've got a pretty good resume. Both my feet are in the door, but they're in the door, but they're wearing a wet Mickey Mouse boots costume.
Patrick, it's time I show you exactly how I control Hollywood.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
That quote from Bob Iger saying that, it's
his
funny
voice
that
kind of triggers me. Will,
I didn't know because it cuts off right there, and the people that I'm working with that got me out of prison early into my halfway home under a certain circumstance, in order to get that, we thought that kind of said a lot, but what I didn't realize until last episode is that this quote means something completely different.
yeah, it does. It all ties back to me having to wear a Mickey Mouse costume. I don't want to go through this again. I slipped
It's pretty
my
wild
wrists on
stuff,
the
and frankly,
podcast
I'm a
last week. I was
little jealous. Just
I
a
was
little
in a
jealous.
I was in a vulnerable spot, and I let my close friends know what was going on. And,
As you should.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want you to play the Bob Iger voice clip anymore. I just want to talk about Miami Connection.
All right,
Sorry
well,
for
this
bringing it up.
movie was truly buried. The Hurricane Charlie in Florida in 2004 destroyed the original film of this. When it first came out, it was busting in all of the theaters in Orlando, Florida. This movie was completely bankrolled by YK Kim. The guy who plays Mark, he directed it along with his friend Woo Sang Park, who also plays a ninja in this. And
I love how ugly all of the main guys are. They're all so ugly.
but they're all from YK Kim's studios. These are the top taekwondo
tell.
experts of Orlando, Florida, being put into a movie, and they are incredible for it. The music was written by the stars, Kathy Collier, who plays Jane, our Juliet, and Angelo Gennati, the mustache guy. They wrote all of the music, and it's absolutely incredible. This movie,
The music does rock.
from the Hollywood elitist deep state, buried this until 2009, when a man, Zach Carlson from the Alamo Drafthouse, found an original 35mm roll on eBay. He had never heard of this movie,
Score.
and he decided, let's go for it. He gets it, and lo and behold, he finds the best movie of all time with incredible events and showings. He's built up the
martial
classic.
arts is awesome.
Speaking of, this is Steven Seagal's favorite movie of all time. This is Steven Seagal's favorite movie of all time.
It all makes sense. Asian connection, Miami connection. I think
Another
there's a
one.
connection. Another one.
Exactly.
Another one.
Isn't it wild that DJ Khaled doesn't eat out his wife?
Another one.
None of those guys do.
None of them? Is it like a Sopranos thing?
DJs. I think it's like
You're
the
telling me
hip-hop
like DJ
community.
Tiesto wouldn't eat out his wife.
I think in the DJ
Another
/ hip
one.
hop community, it's a cardinal sin to go down.
Well, same thing. I mean, you've spent a lot of time as an informant for the mob. So is that like a real thing with like in the Sopranos? For all those out there who haven't watched The Sopranos, there's a whole thing about. Well, I don't want. I mean, it is improver alert, but yeah, they don't do that in the mob. You don't do that in the mob.
No, if
But
you
Patrick
wanna
also
get a
has
girl's-
been an informant for.
Stop. Stop.
Shut up.
Yeah, but basically any good guys, any tough guys, and you want the respect of a woman, you gotta say, I'm not going down. When you go on a first date, you gotta lay expectations out there. Say, I have too much self-respect. I'm not going down on you. I'm a tough guy.
Wow. You know.
That's what I learned from The Sopranos.
Is that dick good?
Wow. And back to this movie, it was completely bankrolled by our boy YK Kim, who met Woo Sang Park in South Korea on a talk show. And I mean, YK Kim, along with Woo Sang Park's absolutely phenomenal background in movie making and screenwriting, put this movie together for a little bit over $1 million. It made $2,200, and that's probably all from recent showings.
That's from YouTube revenue.
Probably, yeah, most likely. And to all of our new listeners here, the movies we're doing this season are all movies you can watch on YouTube for free.
For free.
Not some of them you need to watch unrated through somebody who's streaming it on their computer. And some of them you just need to kind of look around. YouTube will say you could pay for this, and you just have to say, no, actually, I'm not going to pay for this. I'm just going to keep watching it, because these are movies that are put up by people that want people to see it. They don't want to put a paywall in front of it.
And it's a great way to hide tits on YouTube. This movie has tits, and it's on YouTube.
Biker tits. Fun fact, Pat, the
Some of
biker gang in
worst
this.
tits I've ever seen. Some of the worst tits I've ever seen.
I like that they're
and
natural.
That's what's cool about
I
it.
like they're natural.
They're-
Those things
they're
look like they
floppy
could crush.
danglers.
Yeah, but they look like they could do some damage. Those things can crush beer like Miller Lights. You know what I mean? Those things could crush
They
a
look
couple
like
Miller
they-
Lights.
Those boobs look like they had smoked cigarettes.
And they have. They have. They've
Like
definitely
directly into the nipples.
something. So the biker gang in this is actually a real biker gang that they found
I could tell. I could absolutely tell.
and said, "You guys want to be
You
in a
can't
movie?"
fake that. You want to pop your tops? Was this at like Sturgis?
This is Orlando, Florida. Most people don't know this, but Orlando actually has more bikers than most anywhere else in the United States.
That's surprising because I thought you'd
Very
want
wet.
to be surfing. Yeah.
Disney,
sweaty leather.
Meth, biking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really respected the natural titties in this. They're old lady biker titties, and I think that's body positive and cool.
Yeah. And
am I
you
gonna
have
J to it? Am I gonna J to it? Probably not.
what?
But I like the option that it's just on YouTube.
I'm about to bust.
Did you J? Did you jaywalk?
I absolutely had to, and you know that. I mean, frankly, it's very rare for me
It is your
to
favorite
go
movie.
this long. I mean, this hour is reprieve for me. But one of the laws
I mean,
of
I
sexual
J'd the
kung
hard
fu.
ticket to Hawaii. I J'd the hard ticket to Hawaii, but
Well,
those
that
were
had
mega
3
hard
playmates
body
in there.
babes.
Yeah, you had 3 playmates
Yeah.
in there. Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
what were you saying?
at this point, I'm Jay into just about anything. I mean, I literally have a wolf action figure in here that is already just tantalizing me.
I mean, you are sexually attracted to wolves.
It's because I
You
am,
did
yes,
have
spiritually,
that
I am-
DeviantArt page.
spiritually, I am very much associated with wolves. And in a past life, I do believe that I have mated with a wolf before, and I've been birthed by a wolf.
Will got banned from TikTok for having an account where he said he was too spirited, and one spirit was a wolf.
It's true. They'll ban you for
no,
anything
it's
over
not.
there.
You were scamming.
You want the United
not
States is
two-spirited.
like, we should ban TikTok, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead. TikTok banned me. TikTok will
How
ban
come I
you
never
for
see
anything.
your wolf spirit come out? You never act like a wolf. You're not too spirited.
You're incredibly smart. You can break. I mean, you can like
Don't
come up with new
patronize me.
colors. No, I'm being serious. You are incredibly smart. But when it comes to emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence,
Here we go.
I'm just saying you have a lot to learn, and that's what we've
All
been
my
teaching.
ex-girlfriends say this to me too.
That's just what
So I
we've
should
been
have
teaching.
a wolf inside of me? Is that what you're telling me?
If you wanted a wolf inside of you, that could very well be the case, but it's not something that you choose, it's just something that you are. And frankly, some of us are wolves and some of us are sheep.
I'm about to bust.
Whatever.
I'm not saying you're a sheep though. We obviously know you're not a sheep. I was
I'm
just
more
quoting.
of like a panda or like a whale or something.
Oh,
Not
what?
like the Brendan Fraser whale, but like a panda. I like the idea of
You
being
very
a
well could be a
panda.
wolf of the sea. You could be an orca. Orcus.
Or like a bear.
You could be bear. You could be crane. You could be
Oh.
Hercules
Could I
beetle.
be prairie dog?
You could be prairie dog. Prairie dogs are based on deception and they do cower for survival. You are strength, and you have, for all of our listeners out there, Pat has been through very serious things.
Stop it.
I would say that you are more forthright and more regal than even a wolf.
What
I
about
would
like
say
a osprey?
osprey? Yeah, I could see osprey. I could see
No, not the band Offspring.
osprey.
An osprey.
An osprey. So back to Miami.
Like a bird of prey.
Back to Miami connection here. This is, if you've ever wondered how a Hollywood outsider with a serious background in martial arts, who has great success with it and has taught it for years, what it would be like if they created a movie. This is it, and it's amazing. It is everything that you want it to be. So let's get to some of these some of our favorite scenes.
Let's dig in. I'm hungry for it. Feed me.
Let's
Feed
get
me.
to some of this. Okay, so
I'm hungry for it.
I mean, let's first off, I think we should address what we agree with the critics on.
Yeah.
We needed more music.
There's 2 great songs, and the score is great too. But I would like another like lyrical song written for the movie. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Let's show them this scene. You have to see this.
Goosebumps.
Absolutely
Trigger
incredible.
warning. Goosebumps.
Yeah, Frisian for sure.
Ah, the clip's my hat.
Oh my god, amazing.
This is
Shirts
Dragon
off.
Sound, of course.
Karate pants on.
Just posy vibes.
They're having so much fun. Here's the jealous older brother. That piece of shit. What's my sister
Our
doing on
Juliet's older
stage?
brother. That bitch shouldn't be here.
She's
That's your
dancing.
sister.
Is that your sister, Jane? Yeah, it is. And she's going to start a war. She's going to start a war because
So
you can't let it go.
that's just a little taste of the immaculate vibes you'll find when Dragon Sound is playing. There's 2 or 3 scenes where they're jamming out on stage, and it is never not what I want in that moment.
Yeah, they're incredible. The music written, I just implore everybody to watch this movie. If you don't have time to watch it just yet, look up the songs on YouTube. They're incredible. They're absolute bangers. They're certified hits, and it just is
At least
another.
scrub through and look for the biker titties and the songs.
Yeah, make sure you do that. Those bazongas can definitely crush some Miller Lights. Let's say that they can smoke they can smoke a pack of cigs a day, and they can crush at least a 6er of Miller Lights to go to bed. That's what those bazongas can
Oh,
do.
yeah.
And there's something to behold about that. There's something to behold. I was at an art museum this weekend admiring several
was
pieces of
I.
arts, and looking
I was at
the
the
feet.
Met.
You were at the Met? I was at the Getty. And I was
Wow.
admiring the woman's figure. You know, such a
Of course.
it's absolutely incredible. And they were like, "We got to go. It's closing. You know, you've been in the same room looking at the same painting forever." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but this is what love is. This is the female figure is something to behold."
Who is to say when one is done appreciating a piece of art? It is up to each individual to decide when they have finished consuming that piece of art. For someone to try and usher you out of your experience at the museum is not what the museum experience should be about.
Wow. This is why, for all those out there, Pat is writing a novel, and it's just a little slice of life novel, his philosophies on things. And I'm just so excited
We're
to read it.
still trying to figure out how we're going to market it, if it's like a life coaching kind of thing, a self-help thing, or if it's just going to be kind of like autobiography.
I think it's a little bit
I'm
of
still
both.
fleshing it out.
I think it's a little bit of all of it. And
Right.
yeah. So you're already at like 1,000 pages.
2000.
2,000. Yeah, 2,000
Mhm.
pages.
And
That's amazing.
It's the first 5 years of my life of 2,000 pages.
That's incredible. That is something that my Megamind I have yet to obtain, that Patrick was able to obtain, and that he can actually remember his own birth. He can remember his birth all the way till, most people can't. They don't have any recollection of that. Oh, sorry.
And
Even
I've
before you were
tried to
born.
extrapolate. I've tried to extrapolate that memory of my birth, breathing underwater. I've tried to recall those memories in water to see if I can breathe underwater, and I'm not there yet.
Patrick, the movie 27 Hours is, for our listeners out there, this is a movie that is very hard for Patrick to watch because Patrick also had a very similar experience. In 27 Hours, it was a man who got his arm stuck in a couple boulders. Well, for Patrick, it's just as traumatic of an event.
It was 26 seconds underwater. 127 hours, isn't that what that movie's called? Were you saying 27 hours?
Oh, I thought it was 27. God, that's a long time.
You got it mixed up with 24 at
Oh.
24.
So Patrick has kind of a superpower where time really does change, and how it's affected. So when Patrick's underwater, even just underwater for a couple seconds, not like keep 20 seconds away. Like 20 seconds to him is truly like 35 years of existing. I mean, you're going lifetime.
Hence why I can write 2,000 pages on the first 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
How old am I now? What, 21, 22? I don't remember. This book's going to be fucking
I can't wait.
massive.
I just
It's gonna
can't
be
wait
like
to. I can't wait
20,000
to
pages.
to give it a spin. I really can't wait to give that book a spin. So to me, next up is the scene that
You okay?
oh wow. Yeah, next up is the scene that made me cry. Or took my breath away,
Right.
Pat. I mean, for you, I think we might agree together, agree with each other on this. But for you, I mean, what'd you feel like? What really like caught you off guard on this one?
The scene that really made me cry in this. I mean, this movie's so positive and beautiful. There is some violence in it, but that's just a means to an end. I loved when they're practicing taekwondo and they're breaking at the end. YK Kim breaks the bricks and I just love that whole scene of them practicing taekwondo.
And they talk about breaking
the
boards in
yard.
their act. They're gonna sing
Yeah.
songs and break boards in their act, as they should.
I just love those guys hanging out. They're just so sweet and they're so ugly. It's just so
When YK Kim puts
obtainable to
his
me.
fist in John's mouth and he just sort of holds it there sensually, I was like, wow, these two are definitely an item.
There's some sensuality to it, and it left me speechless. I wouldn't say I cried. I could see myself crying tears of joy if I ever had friendships like that.
For me,
What about you, Will?
the storyline of Jim, the keyboard player, he never knew his father, and in fact, the entire band is a set of orphans. None of them know their parents, and Jim says that his mother died when he was 8 years old, and he's was given a picture of his dad, and he's been trying to locate his dad, but he's been having a hard time, and he, in a moment of complete vulnerability, lets his friends know what the deal is. And I just want to share this because amongst all of the violence of this entire movie, this is truly a moment of reprieve, solace, and goes to show just how tight this crew is. Let's give it a watch.
My mother was Korean, and my father was Black American. She gave me this picture when she was real sick. I was only 9 years old.
He's 9.
They say that they loved each other and they were real loyal. They were real happy. But then when he finished military duty, he left. And we never saw him again.
Wow. Were you drinking that entire time?
What?
You were drinking
Did
that
you play a
entire time?
clip? Did you play
Yeah.
a clip
Yeah.
of Jim crying?
Yeah, you want me to play it again?
No, I saw it. I saw it earlier.
It's an
some-
amazing piece where
Is this some of the best acting we've seen?
it is. Tears are falling from his eyes. People argue. They're like, "Was this scripted?" I in a lot of ways, I'm like, this feels real to me. I'm like, the lines are blurred between reality and fiction here, and truly I hope that wasn't real, but wow, what a way to use it. What a way to use it.
Such pain.
Such pain. Our sweet boy Jim and all of his friends crowding around him and saying, "We're here for you. We're a family. Don't worry. We got your back." And of course that leads
Orphans
us
for life.
that leads us to our
I'm at the top.
Uh-oh, it's a GTS. It's a
God tier
GDGTS.
scene. You know what it is.
Lights, camera, action. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Lights, camera, action. It's time for the GTS.
You're dang right. You're gosh darn right.
You're darn right.
So for me, it was the final ninja fight in this movie. Word has spread amongst the gangs that this group of rockers that are all taekwondo black belts are stealing the cocaine. They're dumping it in the ocean, and they're distributing the chain supply, and one of them's got a thing for this gang leader's sister. Well, that gang leader just so happens to be co-gang leaders with the brother to the head ninja of the narcotics ninja cartel. And
It's a whole wicked web of evil
amongst
guys in
amongst
Central
a fight,
Florida.
amongst a fight, he dies. He gets his ass cooked, and so they're out for vengeance. So Jim and his buddies are on their way to see Jim's father for the first time. They get in this car, tops down. He's wearing a nice
They're in
suit.
suits.
All his friends pooled their money together to get Jim a suit to meet his dad for the first time, and he's then attacked viciously. He's attacked viciously by this gang of ninjas.
Ninjagos.
Give it a whirl. Let's watch this.
Like an aluminum baseball bat. Foley artist killed it.
Absolutely amazing. We see John coming up from the water.
Look how tall he is. Ooh.
That's a
clang.
katana to the face.
Trigger warning.
That's a katana to the face.
Katana
Yeah.
warning.
That's a
Oh, there's
katana
one.
to the shoulder.
Oh, katana to the face again. That's just a little taste of one of the best damn scenes in the whole damn movie.
We're seeing them cutting through these guys. And it's not to say they don't get their own battle wounds, because sadly they do, but they do not die. They do survive because friendship pulls them through. And
that leads to my god tier scene. And it's a tie between the scene we just watched and the scene in the hospital when Jim finally gets to meet his papa. And they're all together, and it's just, they're finally safe and free, and they can focus on their music and their taekwondo training.
yeah.
And it just feels like a new beginning, you know? And that's my god tier scene. And it just freezes on them in the hotel.
And then they're going to go bang some beach bunnies. It's amazing. John's going to
Also,
bang Jane, and the rest of the team's going to go bang some beach bunnies.
Kind of like the mask in the mask. You throw it out the window, but it comes back in. The image of those...
See, that's why I can't watch it. I didn't know that happens. I can't imagine getting
The
rid of the mask.
image-
That thing doesn't come back.
The image of those old fat biker chicks danglers,
Another one.
it's up there. I keep trying to throw the image out of my apartment window. It keeps flying back into my brain. I don't know. It's up there, man. That might be my god tier scene. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Bazungas crushing Miller Lights, smoking a pack a day?
Smoking cigs, smoking carton of cigs. Yeah, I think those danglers, something so natural and They're real natural yum-yums.
Yeah, the more you
Uh,
see them, the more you appreciate them. The more you
The
can't
more
let
you
it
know
go.
them, they're familiar.
The more you just can't let it go.
Sorry. I didn't need to say that. All that.
Well, this movie was certainly taken down by the one and only Hollywood elitist deep state, and probably the Pentagon, probably military
All the
officials.
alphabet ones, ATF, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA. It was probably freaking all of them. They have a network. They all work together on this dumb shit.
And we're no strangers to how their tactics are. Their tactics are, let's get together, let's get to the newspapers, the magazines, and let's get these critics. We'll pay these critics to, we're going to pay them, or we're going to threaten their families to write what we need them to, and by any means necessary, truly. And so, like we said, this movie had a budget over $1 million, made $2,200, and frankly,
Couldn't even buy a Google Vision Pro with the money this movie made.
no, you couldn't. You really couldn't. So here's some of the critics' reviews that I pulled online that I felt like, and just because I pulled them online doesn't mean that they weren't from real publications at the time of this movie coming out into theaters in 1987/1988. So this is from Michael McJagger of the Sweeter Post. Pat, I just hope you're ready for this one because I know you're going to get freaking pissed. Michael McJagger wrote, "Was there a script for this movie? It really doesn't seem like there was one."
Shut up, bitch!
There was, of course, a script. He's being a little bad-faith dickhead. Of course there was a script.
Yes.
But he doesn't know anything about cinema veritas, realistic cinema. These aren't refined actors. These are taekwondo guys. They're not going to be doing good lines and being pretty. It's like a real conversation, and he doesn't get it, and I want to drown him in the LA River with concrete.
That's right. Michael McJagger, you writing something so absolutely stupid. I don't know what they paid you to do, but obviously I feel like you were asleep when you wrote this because it was the dumbest thing I've probably ever heard. I'd like to catch you just on like a tall bridge, and maybe you're riding a bike. I would love if you're riding a bike or if you're on rollerblades, and I'm just gonna drop kick you off the bridge. Plain and simple. I don't want you to suffer. I just don't want you to exist.
That's fair. I respect that.
Shut up, bitch!
All right, next we have. It only gets worse from here, Pat. Frankly, it's pretty scary, really. This one is from Sterling Tatoes of South Florida Sentinel, so this one is like very close by. So Sterling Tatoes wrote, "Never let a martial arts instructor make his own film again. This movie made me sick to my stomach and bored."
What the fuck? Am I mistaken? Is Jackie Chan a martial arts instructor? Because
Probably.
that guy's made like some of the greatest movies of all time. What's this
Steven
damn
Seagal.
What's this damn ass gatekeeper up to? This little mf'er. I fucking hate this person. They are so stuck up, and I would like to take them on a helicopter ride and strip them of all their clothes, give them a parachute, and make them jump out, and they're gonna be naked. They're gonna land at an elementary school recess, and they're gonna get arrested for child nudity showing, and they're gonna be and then they're gonna get marked as a predator, and they're gonna be on sexual abuse registry websites, and they're not gonna be able to live next to a school but I'm gonna send kids over to over to freaking Sterling Tato's house, and he's gonna get arrested again because he broke his probation because he had kids near his house, even though he's registered on the sexual registry. And then he's gonna have to go back to court. He's going to prison for 3 years. I'm gonna go to prison to meet him in there. I'm going to spread his butt cheeks. I'm gonna piss in his butt, and then I am going to kill him.
In a video game.
Wow.
In Crash Bandicoot 2 with the Dr. Vortex.
Sterling, plain and simple, you got it coming to you in a video game. All right. I truly can't really add anything other than maybe some visitation rights where I'll come to visit you and you'll be so
conjugal.
excited.
He's fist in your butt.
Yeah, you'll be
with the brass knuckles.
You'll be so happy that there's a visitor, and then I'm just there to ask you about the trauma that you've incurred.
In a video
Yeah,
game.
just kind of rehash it for no like real reason.
Yeah, I'll get your hopes up
Kinda
like I'm gonna
twisting
help
the
you out, and
knife.
I'm not gonna help you out at all.
Yeah.
Okay, Pat. Frankly, I'm a little. I am surprised, but
This guy's
I'm
a
not
fucking
surprised.
CIA op. This guy is a CIA
It's-
op.
I can just find him and look at every movie he's reviewed, and it's just like checking off the list. It's absolutely crazy.
Smells like rotten beef to me.
Keith Beef, Washington Post. He's back. This man has nothing better to do. He's made a whole career out of writing piss poor. I mean, good grief, this guy can't write, and he's got terrible taste in movies, i.e., the government pays him, or somebody that we have yet to figure out pays him. So, Pat, without further ado, Keith wrote, this is a new low in movies. Miss it at all costs.
Holy cow. This man has done some horrible reviews. We can't seem to get rid of him. He is a troll. He is an ugly soul. I hate him. I think that he is worse than a lot of Nazis. He is scum on this earth. He's a shill for the Hollywood elitist deep state. He deserves nothing more. I wish Pokemon was real so I could make him get eaten by 100 Magikarps slowly over the course of
Just
100
nipping at him.
days.
Nipping
Just
at him.
nipping at him. And that's why I want it to be Magikarps, because piranhas would do it too quickly. Magikarps are so inept, it would take them 100 days. And it would be the most excruciating. And Magikarps are so boring. He would be so bored. They're so gross and boring. And they just be sucking on him until he became bones.
Boom.
In a video game.
That's all, Keith Beef.
Yeah, I wish it was real life, but also in a video game that I could douse you in gasoline and I could light you on fire. But then I would just have a fire extinguisher that would just put you out for a little bit at a time. And you would just be begging me to end it. But of course I wouldn't.
Yep.
I truly would not
You
care if
become
you
a
lived or
burn
died as long as I
victim.
just had my way with you.
You become a burn victim. We'd love to watch you interact with your family, watch them slowly distance themselves from you because you look disgusting. You look like Tommy Lee Jones and Batman, Harvey Dent, but all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And your family would, and then you just kill yourself because you're a monster and no one loves you. Great idea, Will, in a video game.
That's right.
In a video game.
Keith, I just hope that you hear us clearly. That just because I'm behind bars, that there's red tape around my freedom in this country doesn't mean that I wouldn't take necessary action to put an end to your sheepish, disgusting actions against true art. Okay? This is Certified Cinephiles. We take no prisoners. We want this to stop. We want the people to see what real cinema is and what it can be. And we don't...
This only ends one way for us.
The public has been
Waco,
lied to
Texas
for
style
way...
incident.
Yeah, we're going to get wacky in Waco, and it's going to be this halfway house. It could be the Airbnbs
Well,
that
hopefully
Patrick has
not.
had to go to over and over again to get away from the gang stalkers. But either way...
Hopefully we have a little more time. We can build up our Certified Cinephiles fortress. And
I'd like to see them try at that point. Bring the National Guard. Bring whoever you can. We got Keith Beef all tied up with a magnum straight to his head, and we're doing silly
he's
stuff
a
to
burn
him.
victim now. His skin is wet
video
and
game.
peeled, and he looks fucked.
Yep. That's been our episode of Miami Connection. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in, and tune in next week for another incredible episode where we take down the Hollywood elitist deep state.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.